One thing that people say that they want is for us all to be treated equally. In fact, equality means sameness, and a fact of life is that we are not all the same. Some of us are older, some younger, some have physical handicaps, differences in gender, socioeconomic backgrounds, and a whole host of other differences. In fact, then, we don't want equality in our lives, but instead, we really want equity. Let me explain with a drawing that is becoming well known. It involves three people who are trying to glimpse a baseball game. Each of them has a box to stand on to look over a fence at the sold-out game. The problem is, the tallest person in the picture doesn't need a box to stand on and could see just fine standing on the ground. The medium-sized person is too short to see over the fence from the ground, but the boost of one box is enough to give a perfectly good view of the game. However, the shortest person, even with one box, is not tall enough to watch along with the two friends. This is the example of equality. Everyone gets the same number of boxes, one. For the middle person, this works out great. For the tall person, it's unneeded, and for the short person, it's inadequate. Now, if we talk about the same situation from the standpoint of equity, our concern for each person changes. We don't worry about meticulously counting out boxes. We care about results. If the tall person doesn't need a box for this situation, it can go to the short person who would be excluded without a second box. It becomes a question about goals. Do you want everyone in the world to be treated the same? Or do you want everyone in the world to have basic access? In the second image, all three friends have access and can enjoy the game. Let's think about this story with some real-world examples. Under a model of equality, all patients would receive insulin. Under a model of equity, patients with diabetes get the insulin. Under the equality model, every employee receives a medium-sized uniform. Under the equity model, all employees receive a uniform that covers their whole body. Viewed through a lens of equality, male and female employees get the same restrooms. Using the equity model, women get larger restrooms and more toilet stalls. With equality, that is, again, sameness, every student has 5 minutes to pass to the next class during the school day. With equity, handicapped students are allotted enough time to access the elevator at the far end of the building. Under a system of equality, every employee gets to choose 2 benefits from the HR plan: eye care, maternity leave, counseling, child care, dental care, or sick leave. Under a system of equity, every employee gets the benefits they need to succeed at work. By now, you're starting to see that if we value all of our citizens, we need to equip each one to be successful, first in their schooling and then in their workplace performance. If we take the view that we need all citizens to be actively engaged in society, then we can't be strictly doling out sameness. Rather, we need to be giving out access. And if everyone has access, everyone has a chance to reach his or her potential and contribute to our companies and our communities and our greater society. So, the next time you think about the shapes and sizes and ages and abilities of those in our workplaces and our cities, I invite you to think about whether you are treating people the same or if you're committed to giving them access. Is that they have the world's oldest running democracy. This year, the United States is 240 years old as a country. What this means in practical terms, however, is that democracy as a system of governance is still in its infancy.